Okay, now on to our more complicated fold. It's going to look a little bit like this. Everybody can see how we're folding that. And then it opens up to a really fun three-dimensional fold. It's a little paper airplane like, so I figured everyone would enjoy this. This also uses that inverted fold technique. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this step by step. Bear with me. So again, we're going to start with a square. So since we're using the copy paper, it's nice and thin. We're going to measure over 2 times 8.5. And then we are going to draw a line again and cut it. Same as it ever was. Don't feel bad if you go through a bit of paper testing this out, because I've gone through my fair share. Get rid of the ruler so you guys can see. All right, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is folding it in half diagonally. So you're going to match up the corners, very similar to what we were doing the last one. Okay, try and crease it nicely. And then we're going to open it back up. Okay, and this is our valley fold. Okay, and we're going to change it over to a mountain, and we're going to bring these sides in and line them up almost like you were making a paper airplane. Like so. Both sides. Get that one out of there if it's helpful so you can see. Just bring it, line it right up with that center seam. And that will give you 3 lines of equal angles. And that looks great, right? So then we're going to take this like so, okay? Keep it folded. And we're going to draw 3 angled lines. I'm going to angle mine just a little more this time. See how it comes out. And you want to try to keep them parallel, so you can just do one on either side of the ruler, if that's helpful. I think it gives you a better look if it's parallel. And then to make this easy on us again, we're going to just fold right on those lines just to get us started. So you want to make sure that you can see the line. So you want to flip it back on itself like this. And you kind of just bend it over until you just crease it right on that line. And then again, definitely use your fingernail on that one because you want it to go through that, you know, all those layers of paper. Really important. And then do that. I'm going to do all 3. You need 3. You can't have 2 because of the way this works, kind of folding back and forth. So you want to have 3 lines like that. And you can see with that how we have all of the lines creased in here now because we just kept them all folded over like this and bent it like that. So that really gives us a good start as opposed to trying to do each of those individually. Now, to invert this, we're going to start with the larger areas that are going to be inverted. So right up here, we stay the same, if you notice, with this one. So this center one is a valley and these 2 outside ones are a mountain. That's just what we have here. So we're going to leave that. But it changes back here on the tail end of it. So what I want to do is just invert the outside area here just up to that point, okay? So you want to just go like that. Give it a good crease because you want it to have that memory. And then I'm going to do the same thing with that one that goes down the center. Again, just crease it right up to the point where you start to hit one of those angled lines. You don't want to go past that. And then I'm going to invert this side. Like that, yep. So that wants to be like that. Oops. So that's in, that's out. And this is out in this direction. You gotta make sure that they're kind of going back and forth. And then this one, I think I did the wrong way. That's okay. I can redo it. So I want it going like that. So then it still looks a little scrunchy. So you're like, well, how does this work? So once you get that in place, you can start to see as I bend it, how it wants to kind of go and fold. So this one's going the right direction. This one is not. On my right side here. So I'm going to fold that in the other direction. So that will give me my first V. You see that V in there? That's what we want. Now, we also want to have that same thing happening here. This one's going in, and this one's coming out. So we want to have this one going in. So we're going to try and just sneak in there as best we can and give that a little memory just on that section. You want to make sure just to be folding in on those sections. Flip it over again. And you can start to see that fold. If you remember our initial one that we created right here, it's very similar, okay? Only just a little bit more complicated. All right, so we have that. Now we have to have these come out. So this one needs to come out and this one needs to come out, and so does this. So all along here. And that one needs to come in this direction. And this one needs to come in this direction. This is the one closest to our peak. The nice thing about copy paper is it's pretty forgiving. Alrighty, so we're getting close. We've got some of the angles we need. Now we just need to kind of fine tune it. So right in here, this one right in here, we're going to want to have it coming out, and this one we're going to want to have coming in. So it kind of already is going the right direction, but these we want to have going in. So this is coming out, this is peak, this is valley. That's turning into a valley over there. And then once it really starts to want to give in and fold for you, the best way to kind of complete it is to give it a little bit of a crease like this. And fold it flat. Make sure you're getting all the folds right where you want it. This one actually came out better than my other one. So that's our fold. So again, if you guys would give this a try. And you can stop the video and just, pause it so you can kind of follow along and do it. And then add them to our discussion that I created on Canvas so I can see what you're doing and see how you're doing. If you have any questions about it at all, please don't hesitate to contact me via email and I'll get right back to you. So again, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that this is interesting and fun. And hopefully when we get back, we'll be able to apply these really interesting and different shapes to some shelter projects, or we can even think about this for like windmill or something. So we'll be playing with these. This is definitely a big component in the class. So it's great for us to just get them started. All right. Thanks, guys.